Justifying factors. Adding value to the coverages. Adding value to liability. Now this segment is connected to the explanation of the coverages, where we also talk about the value of having liability coverages. But in this segment, we're going to focus specifically on adding value to the limits of liability, and also to emphasize on the exposure and the risk that the insurance companies are taking by offering liability, and how that is connected to the actual monthly payment. And we're going to compare the cost with the benefit of liability. Now let's start with number one, the value of liability coverages. Now if we go based on the basic limits, we're talking of $15,000 per person, $30,000 per accident, and also $5,000 for property damage. So we're talking of a total of $35,000 worth of coverage. So when customers hesitate on making a decision, you're going to emphasize on the fact that they're leaving with $35,000 worth of coverage. So whatever they're paying, they're not just paying for basic coverages or just for a piece of paper. They're actually paying a cost to actually obtain a total of $35,000 worth of coverages. So if something was to happen, the insurance company is going to cover that. Number two, the main factor of choosing liability coverages is simply to be protected. Now, the insurance company is going to take a risk. The exposure of them paying $35,000 if something was to happen is also a big risk. Now, they're willing to offer those coverages simply by collecting an adequate premium. Now, this is connected to number three. Now, for them to actually, for the customer to leave with insurance, for them to have benefits, or also for them to be able to take advantage of the coverages, there's a premium that has to be paid. Now, let's imagine that the monthly payment is $70 to $80. By them paying those $70 to $80, the insurance company is willing to offer coverages and willing to take a risk and willing to take a loss of up to $35,000. So every time customers hesitate on making a decision, or if they feel that they're paying too much just for basic coverages, remind them, tell them, look, sir, you're not just paying for a piece of paper. You're not just getting basic liability coverages. You're not just choosing basic coverages, or you're not just fulfilling or satisfying the law. No, you're actually getting coverages of $35,000. So guess what? If something was to happen, the insurance company is willing to pay up to $35,000. Now that's a lot of money, correct? Do you feel that $35,000 is a lot of money, or is that just a couple $100s? They're going to tell you, no, it's a lot of money. So therefore, you're paying $60 to $70 to get coverages of $35,000. Do you see the difference? You're only paying a small percentage of what the insurance company is going to pay if something was to happen. Add value to the coverages. Use these three factors. Number one, add value to the actual limits. Number two, emphasize on the exposure, the risk, and how much money the insurance company is going to lose if something was to happen. Number three, that the insurance company is willing to offer those coverages for the right cost, for the right premium. So in this case, those $60 to $70, $70 to $80, that's sufficient enough for the insurance company to offer these coverages.